What's going on, everybody? K2-2 here. Wow, that sounded a little bit weird. K2-2? K2-2? What kind of accent is that? I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the TBU Union Week 2. This week we are going up against Munchlaxster United, coached by none other than King Bub, and he's got a pretty scary team, and you're going to go ahead and see it on the screen right there now. Okay. And of course, we're just going to show my team, like, right next to it. Right there. Cool. So, he's got a pretty scary team. Very offensive. Very, I would really enjoy using this team. Especially because there's a Magirna on there, and Magirna's fucking scary. On top of that, he's got some other scary threats, like Toxapex can be hard to take down if you don't have the right things for it. Latios, in and of itself, is just very good. Donphan. Thundy T, I love to death. He has a Lycanroc to deal with our Megazard. He has Miltank also to deal with Megazard, or Breloom, depending on whatever he wants. He has a Mega Absol, and he also has the better Mega on his team is Meganium. Anyway, I'm absolutely kidding. Meganium is trash. Alright, let's go ahead and get into our team that we are bringing this week, though. So, this is a Breloom. And it is definitely a Breloom. You're going to look at it and you're going to see a Life Orb, you're going to see an Adamant Nature, and you're going to see Swords Dance. And then you're going to take a look over at his team again. And you're just going to say, ow! Because I know that's exactly what you're thinking. Let me just run through... God! Paul! I'm recording! Give me a minute, alright? Breloom. Life Orb SD Adamant. Let's go ahead and take a look at his team. Magirna, max HP, let's say he's Modest Nature, max special attack. Plus 2 Mach Punch does 60 to... Wait. Yeah, it does like 68 to 80. I'm pretty sure is what the calc was. Next, Toxapex. Max physically defensive, like max HP, max defense, bold nature, Toxapex. Plus 2 Bullet Seed, as long as they get 3 hits, kills. Latios. Plus 2 Mach Punch does, I think 68 maximum. Like 57 to 68. Something around there. Donphan, Bullet Seed, dead. Thundy has a really good chance to kill after Stealth Rocks. So if he's Life Orb, he takes 1 Life Orb hit, dies to Mach Punch after Stealth Rock. Lycanroc, Mach Punch. Miltank dies to plus 2 Mach Punch if it's max physically defensive. And the thing is, Miltank can be a very good switch into it because it has the Sap Sipper. If he's predicting me to go for Spore, I can set up an SD on the switch. That would be very nice. Mega Absol dies to Mach Punch. Meganium, I set up on it. It can't really do anything to Breloom. So, Breloom 100% is going to be our win con here. Spore is very nice. If I want to try and sporing the Magirna, the Toxapex, the Donphan, anything slower than me, I can try to do that. And I have enough speed for... I believe that's max speed Donphan. That way I can out-prioritize his Ice Shard if he potentially has that. Mach Punch will be able to still do a shit ton of damage to an offensive Donphan. Like, say he was Jolly Max Speed, which I think is what I was out... No, I was outspeeding Adamant Max Speed. Yeah. Because Mach Punch would still be able to do a ton of damage to that. So that's going to be pretty much our main win con this week, and the rest of the team is just going to be there and be like, hey, we're here to set up the Breloom sweep. So that's going to be that. Next up we have our Ferrothorn. Not max specially defensive this week. We are running 108 in Spadef with the Sassy Nature. Mostly because that's all I need to live a Fire Blast from a Mega Absol, and I can Gyro Ball with this attack investment and kill it 100% of the time. Now, Ferrothorn's moveset Pretty self-explanatory. Stealth Rock and Spikes, of course, I want to get up as many layers of hazards as I can. His hazard removal options are Donphan and Latios. Latios I can punish with Knockoff plus Gyro Ball, or just 2 Gyro Balls. And then Donphan, of course, I can go into something else and deal with it. And then, like, if he wants to spin on Ferrothorn, he's just going to take Iron Barbs damage, and I can continually set up my rocks, my spikes, whatever I want against the Donphan. So that can be a very fun mon. It's really there just to sponge hits while I get up hazards, really. Maybe knock off a few items as I go. Like knocking off a Toxapex would be nice. Knocking off Magearna, get rid of its leftovers, its Assault Vest, whatever it has. Even though I'd rather set up hazards against it. Knocking off a Thundy might be nice. It'll put Thundy, of course, in range of... Eric, you too? You too with the Discord notifications? Ferrothorn can put Thundy in range of knockoff with... no. It can put it in range of the Mach Punch with knockoff. That's what I'm going for. Knocks out Lycanroc with Gyro Ball. Does a lot to Miltank, even if it's physically defensive. And Meganium, I can just knock that off and continually set up spikes on that as well. So, very happy, very, very happy with my Ferrothorn this week. It's looking to get up some free hazards, is pretty much what I'm going for. Now, last week I pretty much brought Stall, and this week is the exact opposite. As you can tell, I already have one setup mon and a lot of hazards. Last week I went pretty much full Stall, so this week you can already see we're going hyper offense. And the next setup mon that we're bringing is this Reuniclus. Now, this Reuniclus, it can set up on a Magearna, as long as that Magearna does not have Heart Swap. And on top of that, the only thing that can stop it from setting up, there's 2 things, actually, that can stop it from setting up are Mega Absol and Banded Lycanroc with Crunch. Or he can go with the route of Trick Latios, tricking me an item, and Dragon Tail Meganium, which obviously I would not expect that. I don't know. It's just, that seems like a way out there kind of bring. But anyway, because Mega Absol and Banded Lycanroc with Crunch are definite possibilities, I'm bringing a Cobra Berry. That way I can live and kill with a Signal Beam against either of them. Of course, Lycanroc I'd click Psyshock against anyway. The speed on this Reuniclus is for no speed Toxapex. That way I can creep that and make sure to get off a big hit on it before it clicks Haze. Latios at +1, doing nothing to us. It does like 30-some damage with Life Orb Draco. It's gross. Donphan, doing nothing to us. We're physically defensive. Magearna, of course, it'll take a while for us to 1v1 it, but we can indeed do it, especially if we get a burn on it to negate its leftovers, which we do have Starmie to do that. We can indeed do that, and I'm looking to sweep with this Reuniclus because it's just as good of a mon as Breloom is. And the thing is, Reuniclus and Breloom break for each other this match. It's a very, very nice combination. Outside of that, there's really not much else to talk about with this Reuniclus. It's just, it's there, and it has a pretty standard moveset, and it's looking to do damage. So that's all I'm really going to say about it. Next up, we have a Substitute Life Orb Starmie. This is a weird set. I understand. Now, Sub Life Orb, normally I wouldn't do it because you're just killing yourself, basically. However, there is the Mega Absol there. And I said that Mega Absol was a problem for Reuniclus, so Sub is a very nice deterrent to not die to Sucker Punch. and I can kill the following turn with Dazzling Gleam. If he goes for Sucker to break my sub, it'll be analytic boosted. Then again, it won't really matter, because Dazzle will 100% kill that. It's a 2-hit KO against Latios. Magearna, I don't have anything to touch it. However, what I am going to do against Magearna is I'm going to click Scald. If I get a burn, it'll negate leftovers. If he doesn't have leftovers, and I get a burn, like say he's AV, I get a little bit of chip damage every turn. And basically all that does is it puts Magearna in range of +2 Mach Punch from Breloom. Donphan will go down to the Scald. Actually, no, it won't, because Donphan's really bulky. However, I can get a burn on that as well. Latios is 2-hit KO'd. Thundy is 2-hit KO'd by Psychic. Lycanroc can die to the Scald. Miltank, I can Scald Burn that. And I really don't have a good option against Meganium. I could Psychic it, get some Spidef drops, but eventually I'm just going to end up killing myself and he can just stall me out. So, that's Starmie this week. I'm just looking to get some chip damage and maybe take out a Mega Absol. That's all I'm really hoping for with Starmie this week. Because it's just going to make it easier to break with my hazards and then Breloom plus Reuniclus. So next up, the next problem that we were going to have with both Breloom and Reuniclus was Latios, because Latios could be a Trick Scarf set for Reuniclus, and also I just need chip damage on it besides the rocks in order to kill it with +2 Mach Punch. So what we are doing is we are going with this crazy looking set with Crocodile. Now, EQ knockoff Pursuit and Aquatail. Aquatail is there only for Donphan, and I am running Moxie over Intimidate, mostly because everything that's faster than me, besides Lycanroc, can knock me out anyway. Like, Mega Absol after Intimidate, Superpower pretty much just OHKOs us still. At least it puts it in range to where I wouldn't want to be in. But anyway, Crocodile is here, and I'm just looking to get off a Pursuit against the Latios, possibly knock off some items, predicting switches. It's there to pressure Magearna, because I do 78 min with my Earthquake against Magearna. It's there to pressure the Toxapex. He can't switch in Latios safely because I can go for the knockoff. Donphan can be a switch in, but it's knocked out by EQ plus Hazards plus Aquatail. Thundy can't switch in because it will die to knockoff plus Hazards. Lycanroc can't switch in. Like, you get the point. Crocodile is there to just pressure his team. He doesn't have anything besides Meganium to switch into it. Every time Meganium comes in, I have a free switch into Reuniclus, which is very, very nice. Now, let's talk about the EV spread on this Crocodile. Now, originally he had Hitmonlee on his team, but he switched that out this week for Lycanroc. And I was running a Jolly, a lot of speed Crocodile. Still with the Assault Vest, of course. However, the speed this time, I lowered to like 44 in Jolly, which is the same as 132 Adamant. In this way, I get more attack. Like 164 Adamant is more than 252 Jolly on the attack stat. And then I just, I had 252 Adamant, or 252 Jolly, whatever speed I had. I dumped the rest into Spidef, and then I was like, alright, now we can change the speed from Jolly to Adamant, so I have a few extra points in attack by being Adamant. If you guys don't understand what I'm saying, let's go ahead and restart this, okay? So let's say I was Jolly, and I had a lot of speed in order, not that much, like something around there. I had enough speed for a Jolly Hitmontop. I was max attack and then some Spidef. Alright? Now, what I did in order to optimize it, as soon as he got rid of the Hitmontop, the next fastest thing on his team was Magearna. So that was very nice. I can take out some speed in order to outspeed Timid Magearna, which also outspeeds a non-invested Miltank, which takes us all the way down right there to 129. And right here, I can dump the rest into my Spadef. I believe that's what I had. I think. No, I had 204. And then I put 4 in HP because I wanted an odd HP stat, 4 in defense, and then I made it adamant. Took out that, put in the same amount of speed to make sure I had that, and then 164 attack. So before I was like 169, 170 attack, and I got to 173 attack with doing this. It's very complicated stuff, but this is a way that you can optimize your sets. You can get more points out of your highest stat if you put in a boosting nature, and of course, to me at least, that makes sense because you get a 1.1 multiplier from like an adamant nature. So if you're going to put a multiplier into a higher number, you're going to get an even higher number than you were if you put it into something like a 92. So that's very complicated stuff. If you didn't follow me at all through that, I apologize, but that is the way that I built this Crocodile set. Anyway, we're going to move on to our Megazard. And you're going to take a look. I don't have Fire Stab, and that's completely fine because I hit everything on his team neutrally with Dragon Claw plus EQ. And I don't need a lot of speed. This speed is the very same as Crocodile. I outspeed everything after +1. And I do massive shit tons of damage with it because I'm adamant on this as well. EQ is doing a massive load to Magearna Toxapex. And that's all I need to hit with EQ. And then Dragon Claw hits everything else. Latios dies, Donphan will die after hazards, if he's offensive. Thundy will die, Lycanroc kicking off an Accelerock before it goes down. Miltank can be a problem if he's physically defensive, maybe like with a Rocky Helmet, but I still 2 KO that. Mega Absol can get off a Sucker Punch before it goes down. Meganium, I set up on that, and I can just continually roost, Dragon Dance, Declaw, whatever I want to do against the Meganium. So that's going to be, it's a pretty self-explanatory set. Like I said, I'm running the same amount of speed on this as Crocodile, and then just the rest in HP. I didn't want to mess around with defense, Spadef, anything like that. The only reason I did that on Crocodile is because I wanted as much Spadef as possible to go with the Assault Vest so I can take special hits better. But the game plan altogether is to win either with Breloom or Reuniclus, and if I can't do it with either of them, Zard will just come in and win after that. Even with Rocks Up, I just can set up on whatever is left because usually the passive stuff is the stuff that's left over because he has to revenge Reuniclus with his more offensive things, or else I just set up more. And Breloom pretty much just shits on everything. I'm very excited to bring Breloom this week. So that's going to be it for our Week 2 team analysis. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and hit that like button down below, and I will see you guys next time.